Episode of the Everblack Podcast is brought to you by Deathwish, Hotrods and Kustoms. Check out their Instagram for all their new t-shirts, caps, beanies, cups, and the all-new Atomic Death lineup.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
What's happening over there in Vancouver? Is that where you are?
Yeah, I'm in Vancouver. Not much. I mean, just like everywhere else, trying to deal with the COVID.
Yeah.
And things are things are doing not bad here. Things are progressively getting better, but still not out of the woods yet. So,
are you guys jamming at all, or staying in touch? How is that working for you guys?
Yeah, we're back at. For the longest time, we were just doing stuff from home. But yeah, we've been back kind of jamming, working on like a set list now for, future live shows and tours and stuff, right? Because that's, looks like that's going to be a thing again at some point.
Man.
Sooner than later, it seems.
Dude, hanging for it. Absolutely hanging for it. I guess, have you guys got local shows happening over there?
We actually have a Halloween /CD release / first show in 2 years show next Saturday.
Sick.
In Vancouver. Yeah. So it's it kind of worked out well. Like our album comes out next Friday on the 29th.
That's right. I was about to mention that. I've got it in my notes. But we'll get to that.
Future.
But that's awesome, man. Yeah. We've Fleet Your Blood now. It's links here. But yeah, dude, that's awesome. How you feeling about that?
Excited. It's weird. Even just jamming our set, like it's we're like putting in some of the new songs and stuff just to, have that in our set list now. And it's cool, but it's just kind of weird going back to playing our set, even just as a band. It's kind of, I don't know, it'd be like an athlete, not, or like a marathon runner not going for a run for like a year or two and just running on a treadmill at home, but not like going and doing an actual fucking 40K run or something. So, yeah.
I can't do a 40K run, but I'll take the bins out and come back. But you know what, man? I think you're going to be fine. Knowing how good you guys are at what you do, I think you'll just get there and you go, here we go. Slide back.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's a lot of muscle memory and, it starts to come back. It's just working out the kinks of the new songs of just being like, oh, right, this is,
yes.
Just, figuring all the ins and outs of it and stuff and getting it up to par.
Absolutely. Well, as we mentioned before, the new ARCHSPIRE album, Bleed the Future, is out on October 29, which is next week, coming up real quick, man. And this thing is fucking incredible, dude. Like it's such a monstrous album, and it's like you guys have stepped it up yet again, and it's which seems like it's like the impossible thing to do. But then you guys just go, no, we're gonna push it up even more, and it's such an strong album, man. Even the response to the singles, like dudes are like learning some of the stuff already, shredding it online. Like, man, how you feeling about it?
Pretty awesome. The response has been really really positive and really great, and we're all really stoked to finally have just new music to put out. And our goal was to make, every band's goal is you always want to make a better album than the previous album.
Yeah.
But we were like, well, at the very least, if we can just have the same, at the very least, do the same level as Relentless, as far as like how well it did and stuff like that, and being able to tour off of it, like we're stoked on that. If it drops and people start hating what we do, then it's not so good. So we try to.
That's not going to happen.
I don't know. Like people change what they like and shit, but we still have the same goal and what we want to do, like music wise. So it's always pushing and trying to challenge ourselves and try to get to that next level where it's professionally like touring and all that, or just musically too. Like we were always trying to, but keep it listenable. We're not. It's like we're not running a marathon, but I mean, sometimes it feels like it.
Yeah, dude, I could imagine. Hey, what's your mug there? What mug you got there?
Oh, Iron Maiden.
Oh, that's sick.
Killers.
Yeah, nice. I've just got my mug, but I usually got a
Nice.
Judas Priest mug that I'm. So I always see people's
Sick.
mugs. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, where you got this? Pretty cool.
I like the mugs.
You need a mug. Have you guys got mugs?
I think they're maybe in the works for the. I think there was like a shortage of getting stuff printed. We've been wanting to do them for a long time, but we heard they're like not the best things for shipping and travel or taking on tour as well. But we definitely want to make Stay Tech mugs. I think it's on the list of merch to do.
Yeah. Hey, put me down. Put me down for 3, 4.
Definitely.
Done. But the album itself, the title can be interpreted in so many different ways. But from your perspective, what's the concept and how's that? So is it run like through a story?
Yeah, I mean, to be 100% honest, Ollie would be the best person to describe the concept because it's it is. I mean, like he writes all the lyrics and everything, and it's based off of, actually a lot of it's based off of weird, fucked up dreams he's had, which is and all the albums kind of are meld together. It's kind of like one big concept.
Yeah.
And so this album, I mean, it's kind of hard for me to explain. I would just butcher it to try to explain kind of his vision for it. It'd be like, I mean, I've said this before to someone. It'd be like me giving Ollie my guitar and then someone going, "Hey Ollie, can you play like some ARCHSPIRE riffs right now?" And he's just be like,
yeah.
But it is keeping with that sci-fi kind of horror theme, and it's about like kind of these aliens that are coming to Earth and kind of reincarnating humans into themselves, sort of, and it's kind of a complex. Like I said, I would totally fuck it up to try to explain it.
That's all good, man. That's all good because I can't wait to read through it and read through the lyrics and
there's a lot of them.
I know.
There's a lot of lyrics.
I know, and that's the beauty of it. But the album cover, like with the gold people hanging from was it the skull tree? I've been trying to work it out, but how do you know how that ties into the album's theme at all? Has he explained that to you?
Yeah, so that is actually supposed to be like this kind of serpent type alien that's feeding off humans, and then it's kind of morphing into kind of a human figure. And so that's basically like on the cover, you can kind of see there's a bit of a face on the top of
Yeah.
Kind of, so it's like this alien creature that's like kind of like devouring these humans and then kind of regurgitating them out with this kind of gold blood, and then the monster itself is kind of morphing into like a human form.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty fucked up.
But it looks good on merch.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And mugs.
And mugs.
Well, you worked with Dave, was it Dave Otero?
Yeah, Dave.
He was
Otero.
like an absolute wizard with this.
Oh, he's amazing.
Death stuff, man. Like, how was it working with him again?
Awesome. It was. I mean, like, the fact that we know him really well now, it's not, it's like just kind of hanging out with like a buddy in that sense. So like the workspace at least is comfortable. Like we're really comfortable around him. But as far as when it comes to like all the recording and dialing stuff in, like he's totally gotten even better from before, and he's really tightened up his craft that much more. And because he knows our style and like how we all work individually and as a band, he was really prepared to know like how it would approach through record. So like all of our strengths and weaknesses. So it kind of like sped everything up and like made the recording process way more seamless than like the previous recording. Not that didn't go well, but that was the first time recording with him, right? So it's like we're getting to know him, and he's getting to know us, and then we're knowing like how strict he is with his takes and stuff, which is what we want.
Really?
Yeah, we're like, we want someone who's like honest, and we want someone hands-on too, that's not afraid to say, like, hey, like, honestly, like, this section doesn't really work next to this. Like, have you guys tried, changing something? We kind of wanted like an outsider perspective that is also coming from not just like the audio side, but from music, from the music side. So it kind of feels like having an extra member in the band, which is great because it like kind of helps tighten some of the songs up. And there's a couple parts, like most of it was pretty much all written before, but stuff changes in the studio all the time. So there's like some moments where he's like, hey, this part right at 3 minutes, it's kind of, it doesn't line up as well. Like maybe we should try swapping it or switching it around, or, stuff like that. So all those little changes and stuff really added to the, completion of the album, just make it a tighter album. So yeah. And he's awesome to work with. Like, he's got such a good ear. And, like I mentioned, he really knows like our capabilities and stuff. So he knows what if he's like, hey, actually, I want you to change, for example, like a riff or a drum part. Now he knows like what we're really able to do. So he's like, yeah, like I'd rather you play it like this because it will sound better on the record. But then we would have moments where we're like, well, fuck, can I hang on and make sure I can play this? Because we still got to play this shit live. And he'd be like, oh, yeah, right. Okay. So he's like, I don't know, whatever. You'll figure it out. Just fucking record it.
But, oh, man. Yeah. It's important to have someone like that, that isn't just because I've recorded with dudes in the past that'll just sit there and you go, so is there anything you can sort of, and they're like, nah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, come on, man, like push me a little, like give me a little bit of, there's one dude I worked with a while ago called Adam Merker. Shout out to Adam Merker, who just absolutely pushed me to my absolute vocal limit and just got the best out of me. He's really good at what he does, and that's what you need. You need someone that's going to like push you through those takes, give you that backhand. Well, no, don't do that. Don't backhand people. But that's and the results are there. Especially, I can't stop raving about this album.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm stoked that you're liking it.
Yeah, man.
I hope everybody else does.
Yeah, dude. No. They definitely will. And you went to 8-string this time?
Yes. Yeah. I wanted to kind of. I mean, it's not like I've been bugged about it to move to an 8-string or not. It's not like every album or every jam or every month that I get asked about it. But for this album, I was thinking like it'd be cool to get like some extra inspiration from somewhere, and finding a way to like help contribute to make the album even heavier. So I'm like, well, fuck, like maybe I'll borrow an 8-string for a bit and actually, because I've played them before, I've just never really connected with them well, or I've never really been too stoked, and I don't want to do the gent thing and stuff because it seems to be when you get an 8-string, that's what everybody wants to do. Yeah, and that's cool and all, but so yeah, I spent a bit of time messing around with an 8-string, and then I was like, okay, this is actually really awesome, and I can totally find ways to like write riffs with this, and especially with like writing with like Dean and stuff, like having 2 8-string parts now and making stuff like making like slammy or breakdown parts really heavy, like more so than our previous albums. So that's kind of what I wanted to contribute with, and sort of like, all right, let's make everything bigger and better as much as we can for this album.
I tried playing one, and I just I'm not a shredder at all, but I tried playing one, and I got to that top string, and I was like, I just don't know what to do. I just I just was it a challenge to first?
A little bit. It's just finding ways to not do the classic, open F sharp or Z or whatever fucking tuning you people tune them down to these days. But so it was just trying to make actual like riffs and stuff. And the cool thing about it is that you can use it not just for like, oh, I'm playing lower and it sounds heavier. It's actually a rad tool for if you're playing up in a higher register. Instead of you having to slide back down to another position, you're a bit closer by just having 2 strings above if you're playing like the 6-string stuff or 7-string, right? So it makes some stuff actually easier because then you're not having to move around the fretboard as much for some applications. So, and yeah, it's just and different tunings on this album too. We do drop A for like 7-string stuff, which sounds, pretty heavy, and then the lowest, the 8th string is just kept in a drop E. So it has like a really low octave. So when you hit that note, you really hear it. It sounds cool. yeah. You get the bomb. So you get the bomb.
I love it.
Which is sick.
And another thing I think that's crazy. I mean, you got all these different tunings and all that, but it seems like you're always challenging other players. Like as I mentioned before, whenever you release a new song, you'll see that there'll be dudes on YouTube and stuff that'll pop up because they've learnt the song, or there seems to be like a race for them to, what I mean? Like I got to get this up before everybody else, and it's crazy, man, seeing these dudes. Do you pay attention to that? Do you even write sort of some stuff to go, this is going to fuck these people up?
I don't think we've ever subconsciously, like any of us, like subconsciously thought like, oh, this is gonna like fuck you drummers, or this is take that, all you bass players or whatever. Like I think it's more of just like us, the stuff that we want to play and finding challenging ways to play things, and because we do play a lot with like higher tempos, it's challenging to find different techniques to play in those higher tempos, right? So, if you're not just like, I don't know, fast trem picking the whole time, but you're like, well, that's fine, but like, how else can I, utilize this fast tempo, but with other techniques? So you just start to, mess around with stuff. So, but it is interesting to see like, more of that, like more of like guitarists and drummers and bass players and stuff, and even vocalists, like after a first single or two, and like right away it was like, it was almost like, 2 seconds, it's like, oh, I just figured the whole thing out. It's like, I posted it. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, that's awesome. Like, I don't know, we're gonna be out of jobs pretty soon, but
no, I just think I don't know.
It's cool though that if people feel that it's a challenge and they're right away trying to do it, I think that's great, because I don't know if we've really saw much of that before, or maybe it's just because more and more people are just using social media and it's easier to just put your stuff out there. Like, so maybe it's just, we're seeing it more, or maybe just, if we're writing stuff that is appealing more to musicians that are like, oh, I gotta, I gotta compete. I gotta compete. So it's like, all right.
I think there's a bit of both, but it's also like guitarist in my band, Jaymes. Shout out to Jaymes. He's a big fan of you guys, and he every time you guys release something, he learns it and smashes it out. And
that's awesome.
In turn, and I've seen him learn that stuff and apply it, not rip it off, but apply it into his own playing. And it's just seeing him just excel through learning what you guys are doing as well, which is just incredible. Like it must be mind blowing to have that, know that you're helping other bands and musicians break through to that next level that's going to carry on for years.
I think that's, I mean, if that's what's going on, I'm pretty stoked, because
man.
I mean, that I like growing up and listening to like a bunch of death metal bands and learning guitar and stuff, and wanting to play stuff like Cannibal Corpse, or trying to play like, or attempting to not like play Spawn of Possession, but not even going there because it's too scary, but like wanting to do stuff like that. And I guess it's kind of cool if now it's on the flip side, where if there's musicians out there trying to do that with our music, I think that's pretty sick. I mean, that's I hope there's more of it. I mean, I guess that means we're doing something right. If people want to be playing our stuff, then I guess
that's the thing about you guys that I have, that I keep bringing up, that I've noticed. It's not, you're just not not just a death metal band, but you're kind of like teachers as well. You know, you in this you these music teachers, you guitar teachers, and you know, and I don't think anyone's really doing that out there at the moment. And you know, maybe you need to have your own academy, your own your own university, the ARCHSPIRE University.
We do like State Tech University.
Oh, hey, copyright that shit. Copyright it for these other. Don't steal that, you bastards.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said anything.
It's edit. Yeah, just copyright. But yeah, man. I mean, there's a track on here as well, which is what 400 BPM.
Yeah.
Fucking insane. That's like that's a title track, right? No. Which one is it?
I mean, I don't know. I guess the album's coming. I guess I could say, but I'm not sure if I should yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure like if this is coming out like tomorrow or not, or like if I should wait till
it'll be yeah, that's okay, but I mean that's just insane. I can't even you know. All right, let's all right, keep your secrets. All right, we'll leave that to
because I don't want to get
I know
the other guys are like, dude, what the fuck you're supposed to
they come in through the door behind you and they're like no, we don't want that. I don't want that. All right.
But the word is out. There is a song that we have that's up to that. So
it's crazy.
400 BPM.
I don't
or you know, however you want to look at it. Maybe 200. I don't know.
How do you feel about playing that live? I mean, how I can't even process that.
Well, that song practicing it at home, like I'm stoked to play it live. I think the other guys are too, because it's a shorter song as well. And there are like the way that it's written too, like we originally wanted this track to be like 2 minutes.
Yep.
So we just wanted let's just do a fast, like as fast as we can go, 2 minutes done, like almost like grindcore style, but like musical.
Yeah.
No offense to grindcore music.
No, I love grindcore. There you go.
I love it, but you know what I mean. It has its place.
Yeah.
But then as we did that, it just seemed like we were missing an opportunity to make more of a full song. And so the way that we got away with making more of it, there's a bit of a break in there to give, you know, our drummer Spencer a bit of a cool down, because I mean, it's one of those things where the whole time it's like pretty full tilt and he's just fucking going for it. So and that's how we write too for a lot of parts. We'll if stuff's getting pretty intense, it's like, hey, I need we need something here. Can we throw a clean part in this song? Because, you know, I'm running out of steam, you know,
and
so sometimes it's not just creatively like progressive, you know, style. It's more just to give some of us breaks in the songs.
Oh, dude. So, I can't wait to see that live. That'll be insane.
Yeah, I'm hoping to I know we'll eventually play all the songs live. We'll maybe do like a full album thing, but that song I think would be a fun song live to play.
Man, so just see people's faces melt.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah. It'll be like it'll be like the last song, just so it's like, yeah, fuck it, I'm out, I'm done. That's it.
Just carrying me out, but man, you know. It's nobody. That's what I was gonna say. Is nobody starts off as a shredder though. You know. Do you remember what got you started to really, you know, progress as a player? Do you remember that moment when you started playing and you went, oh, okay, like I've cracked the code. I can step to that next level.
I still don't think that. I'm still not there. I'm still trying to crack that code. I don't.
Okay.
I guess, I mean, that's like playing any instrument, right? It's like, you're always learning, like no matter what, you're always gonna, and you're always, I think every musician is always wanting to get better. And, you know, there's always that, you know, it's obviously sometimes there's a plateau of, you know, you kind of get burnt out, but there's never, you'll never learn it all. And there's always stuff to learn, which is exciting. But yeah, when I was, like in high school and I was starting to get more into playing metal, because when I was young, I learned like all chord shapes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just some like alternative like rock stuff. But then I was like, oh, well, let's learn some Metallica because, at the time that's like favorite band and they're all about riffs. So, but as far as the actual shredding techniques, I think like once I heard guys like Yngwie Malmsteen and Paul Gilbert, and it was like, not that I could, do any of that stuff, or not that I can, play their shit even now, but like trying to learn their techniques and stuff, like that was probably my like late teens, like getting through and then started cataloging through all the like crazy shredders like Jason Becker and stuff like that, and Tony McAlpine, Steve Vai, like just going through that whole shreds phase of just listening to just guitar players for forever. But that was the kind of stuff that brought in those kind of newer techniques, like use like sweep picking and different tapping and stuff like that. And some stuff that you wouldn't hear, maybe even some extreme death metal at the time.
Yeah.
Until like, a band like Necrophagus came out, and then they basically took all that 80s shred and made it death metal. And then I think that's what changed every guitar player in metal. They're like, they either quit, either everyone just gave up, or they just were like, oh fuck, I got to learn that now. That's where the bar is. So now I have to try to get up there. So,
mate,
yeah,
crazy times. But man, you're a horror guy, I heard as well, right?
Yeah. I love it, and I love your T-shirt, by the way.
And I heard that you were, and I was like, well, this is what I was just throwing anyway. But yeah, I've got a bit of a shrine here.
Oh, sick, man. Yeah, I can see. Bruce. It looks like you have some really cool stuff going on.
I call this room the bane of my wife's existence. Because it's just filled with action figures and nerdy shit. But
rad.
Man, I love it. I'm all about it.
Yeah, dude. I collect all that stuff too, man.
Yeah. What's your jam? What's your main?
I collect a lot of NECA figures.
The rabbit hole.
Like a lot. Yeah. So yeah, it's. I mean, like you can't. Like, behind me, I have a bunch of empty boxes of shit. Like.
Man. Here. Nice. Look at that.
Yeah, like.
This is my shit. I love it.
Like the Hellraiser one.
Yep.
One of the Jason's Final Chapter. It's one of my favorites. It's pretty sick. And then because my fiance is a big horror nerd as well.
Nice.
She was like, well, why don't we, if you're gonna have all this stuff, all this junk, then why don't we try to make it like kind of adult? So why don't we just put all your toys in a big glass case?
Oh, mate, that's a winner right there. That's the one. Yeah.
So she's a full supporter of it, which is cool. So yeah, which is cool because then it makes it look a little bit more sort of a like mature, but not really. Hey, man, this is just pure chaos, and I have to sneak things in all the time. So I'm that guy. It's like, well, what is that? And it's like, it's been there forever. No, it hasn't. Oh yeah, I have that, like the room that I'm in right now. Like that's just mostly like where I like play music and stuff. There's a section of that's where I put the things where I'm like, I don't want her to see this. I'll put it on the shelf. And then maybe a month from now, she's like, when did you get that? And it's like high enough where she's not going to really look. So.
I'm sure my wife wouldn't mind now, but I tried years ago. I tried sneaking in I'm a big Turtles fan, Ninja Turtles.
Oh, sick.
And I one of my grails was the Technodrome.
Oh,
and it down here in Australia, it's not a cheap
I bet
purchase.
Yeah,
I found it really kind of reasonable, and I did the wrong thing. Don't do this. It's bad. It's a bad thing. And I sort of snuck it in, and she found out. And I pay for it. She brings it up sometimes. I'm sorry, honey. I do love you. But, I've got a bad habit. I gotta get the plastic crack out.
Yeah.
But man, talking about NECA. Hey, I don't know if any of the NECA dudes re-released that fucking RoboCop figure.
Yeah.
Fuck.
What the fuck? I think they're it's got to be on their list. It's got to be. I mean, right now I know they're doing that thing where it's like every day during October they're releasing a horror theme, which is sick because there's a lot of rad stuff coming out, and I'm gonna be more and more broke because of it.
That Ash,
The Ash looks cool.
that man, that young
Yeah,
Ash,
yeah.
man, gotta have it.
I'm right now. I'm trying to get that Jason 7, but
Oh,
it's
really?
like, and it's out, but it's like I've only seen like I haven't seen it yet at a store, but just like a couple posts of like a handful of people that have actually got theirs that they pre-ordered, and like I didn't want to do the pre-order route because I've done that before. I
Yeah.
did that with Reanimator Herbert West, the
Oh,
NECA,
yeah,
and it
yeah.
just never showed up. Actually, it was my fiance that got it for me for a present, and it just didn't show up. So I ended up getting another one, and then that showed up. So there's like one at some, or one that some store has not even received yet, because NECA's kind of, they're not the best with that shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like down here in Australia, it's really hard to. Oh, sorry, I'm probably holding you up. I'm just having a good talk about action figures. If you got another one coming through, but
No man,
I
I can talk about this shit all day.
oh man, it's my thing, man. It's my thing. And down here, all that shit is like pretty hard to sort of come by, and we pay through the arse to
Oh, I bet.
get that stuff. So when we do, like I've got my Ed, my big RoboCop, and I've got a few other little things. But man, you know, some of the other stuff you just no chance. Hey, they just
Yeah.
see it, and we just don't get them.
Even being in Canada too, it's like you would think it's. I mean, we get lucky, we get some stuff, but in the States, it's like, you know, I have some buddies that are big horror fanatics, and they know like they go to conventions and they've worked for like, you know, shops and stuff, so they know like kind of the ins and outs and like who's really good with if you pre-order stuff and not. But like they'll be like, oh, check this out, I got this, and it's like all these cool things, and I'm like, oh, like one out of those 20 maybe just showed up here, and I'm paying obviously way more for it, and you know, and we're like, it's like we're neighbors, right? So yeah, I can't imagine how hard it is for you. I'll have to smuggle some stuff in next time we go to Australia.
Yeah, dude, and vice versa. If there's anything, keep in touch. If there's anything that you're chasing down here, from we'll do the hunt. You know, it's the community, the collector community. It's pretty good usually.
Yeah.
You know? So
Totally.
yeah. I'm all about it, dude. I'm all about it. But in talking about horror, what's your favorite horror movie? There you
go. That's a tough one, man. I have a few. Reanimator is definitely
yes,
up there. The Thing, and Hellraiser. Those are probably my top 3 if I had to pick. But then there's so many more. But those are like, yeah, those are just like perfect horror movies, I think. You know.
What are your thoughts on the new Hellraiser series that Clive's doing?
Oh yeah, I read a bit about that. It seems like it could be cool. I mean, the fact that he's involved, and it seems like he wants to represent the movie, kind of how the book was intended. Because I know the book's a little different than the first Hellraiser. Like they changed some of the characters around and stuff, and like the Cenobites weren't really named and stuff. That was like actually the only reason why they ended up naming any of them was just to give them a name when they were doing all their prosthetics and stuff. Because they had to call them something. So just like they're like, all right, you got Pinhead or Chatter. You know? It's like, so I crossing my fingers and I really hope it's sick, because I didn't watch the last Hellraiser movie that came out.
Neither did I.
I didn't hear enough good things about it. So, and I know it's like Doug Bradley's not in it, and I know wasn't even Clive Barker that did the movie. So I don't know, but the fact that he's, you know, wanting to do like what the book actually is, and he's involved, I think that's rad. So I have high hopes.
Me too. I mean, I'm loving the whole thing that we're getting series. Like Ash versus Evil Dead was like one of my favorite things. It broke my heart when they were like, nah, no more. But man, the Chucky series I want to watch.
Oh yeah, that's coming out too. Yeah.
Couple of people have watched first episode, and it seems like that's the way to go, and I love that they're drawing these stories out. It's exciting times for horror fans. But man, I haven't even got Shudder. Like there's, you know what, I think I'm gonna get it because there's still a few horror movies, classic ones you'll probably reach through the screen here and slap me across the face. But you know what? I've never seen Halloween 3.
Oh man.
See?
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've just realized I was like, I've never seen fucking Halloween 3.
Well, I mean, that one is like, well, I mean, when it came out, it bombed,
Yeah.
right? And I mean, it makes sense. It was like people were wanting Michael Myers, and it didn't. It was because like Halloween was, I don't know if you know, but like because it was John Carpenter kind of wanted to do a thing where all the Halloween movies as a franchise would be different. So they wanted these different kind of ideas in the same universe. And that one, I mean, when it came out, it wasn't responded well because people wanted, they wanted Michael Myers.
You want the shape.
They want the shape. But as a movie on its own, it's fucking rad. Like I love it. And again, a lot of people were like, that's like the worst one, but I think it's one of the best ones.
Yeah.
Just the concept behind it is so fucking cool.
Man.
But maybe you watching it now or soon, you might actually like appreciate it where, maybe if you watched it 10 or 20 years ago, you'd be like, oh, fuck this movie.
Yeah, another one is on my list. So I'm going to watch them over the next week. Frankenhooker, I've never seen. A few people.
Oh,
you gotta watch
I've seen that. It's, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I like, I'm going to go down that weird sort of rabbit hole. Is there one that you'd sort of suggest? Is there one that you could pull out of the top of your head and be like, listen, you got to watch this shit?
Oh, have you seen Autopsy of Jane Doe?
No. I heard it's fucked up.
You need to see it. It's great.
Okay.
It's, yeah. I'd say for a movie that's within the last, I don't know, 8 years or so, it's like, it's cool. It's just like, it's filmed really well. The acting's good. It's creepy as fuck. The prosthetic makeup effects stuff, the practical stuff's really cool. I like the fact that it's all in like one setting. It's like all in a morgue.
Yeah, wow.
So it's not, which is cool because like sometimes those movies where it's just in the one place, it ends up being cooler than like the characters having to go to all these different places. And when the world gets too big, sometimes it can fall short. So, yeah, it's just like this perfect, tight, creepy ass movie.
Keen.
Yeah.
Suggestion. It's another one that was on my list. So
yeah.
I'm gonna get through it over the next week.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, that one I stand by.
Okay, that's a recommendation.
Yeah.
But of course, we've been going for ages. Thanks for your time, man. I'm appreciating the jacks about all this stuff. But
thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Dude. Of course, I mean you toured here. Was it a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Where were we? Was it 2017 or 2018? I'm trying to think. Oh.
Just remember, you played Crowbar in Brisbane.
Yes.
And I was gravely sick at the time, and I could not see it. I was bummed, man. I was like, I had a ticket, and I was like, said to another man, I was like, take my ticket.
Oh damn, man.
And
yeah, it was. You guys go hard.
Yeah,
Australia.
I hear that.
Australia's great. We even played Tasmania as well, and I mean, Tasmanians are on a different fucking planet. And I mean that in a good way. Like it's, yeah.
It's technically its own little micro country. It's not connected to us. We technically it's part of Australia, but it's like
it's its own. Yeah, they're their own thing. I mean, because like everyone's like, oh man, Australians like they'll party and they can drink hard. I'm like, yeah, that's great, and like they're awesome. It's kind of cool, like going there and just the way people are. It feels really similar to people from where we're from, like from Vancouver.
Yeah.
Like, especially Western Canada. It's just a very similar, like everyone's similar personalities. I think kind of laid back and just kind of chill, but you guys like to party and listen to death metal, so. But Tasmania, though, it's like it's like a few notches of crazy in there. It's like I don't know.
I hear that, and I've been wanting to go down there and play there because that's where Psycroptic are from.
Yeah,
those boys.
Yeah, that's where when we played Australia, we did that tour with them.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Which is rad. Those guys are so awesome, so much fun.
man, crazy. Yeah, that's on my list is Tassie because Tassie they've got what's that big festival, the Dark Mofo festival that I want to get down to. Man,
Cool.
look that shit up. Like,
Yeah.
that's like insane. It's like the whole place is just this dark, brutal hub
Oh
of
wow.
of metal and art and stuff. Like, man, I love it. I love it. You know, I wanted to go down and see the Amenta. Have you heard of the Amenta?
Yes. Yeah. I used to. Man, I haven't listened to them in a long time.
Really? Dude,
Yeah.
get their new album,
I
Revelator.
did. Oh, cool.
Fucking incredible.
Yeah. I went through like when I like discovered Psycroptic and stuff like that, and like years and years ago, and then that band popped up, and I was like, oh, if you're listening to Australia and stuff, like check out these guys. And yeah, I remember being pretty stoked. They're pretty super heavy,
Oh, best
super big
dude.
sounding. So
Man, shout out to Kane. Kane's an absolute monster. Like
Awesome.
they are my favorite Australian metal band, and their latest album, Revelator, is just give it a crank. Do yourself a favor and
Awesome.
watch like the ceremony video.
Okay.
And it's, if you love your horror, you're gonna love
Oh
this
yeah.
shit. Man.
Sweet man.
Man.
I'm stoked.
Best stuff in the world. Best stuff in the world. But hopefully, I mean, we'll see you guys again in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely.
I mean, it seems like you guys are still, you know, you guys are not out of the woods. It's yeah,
A little bit. Where
Yeah.
you know, where I am in Queensland, we're
Okay.
okay. But everywhere's starting to. There's places that are starting to open up a little bit and stuff. But I'm definitely hoping we can definitely see you guys down here, because people are ape shit for you guys. They love it.
Yeah, well, like we were pretty surprised on the response for the first time, because I mean, it's like playing anywhere for the first time. You kind of have to, you know, create your fan base, and then the more you go back,
Yep.
you know, you can start, you know, you gain fan stuff. But it seemed like just going off the bat, it was just like, fuck, this is like, you know, obviously touring with Psycroptic, that's a huge thing too, because
Yes.
like, they're that's like
Yeah,
they're fucking country, you know. But
that's it. Yeah.
but still, just the fact of going there, and like, man, fuck, people really like death metal here. This is awesome. And that's why like there are so many good bands, so many good bands from Australia. It's like just really good musicians. It's great. So, and people like death metal. So I'd say it's like a favorite place to go and tour.
Oh,
a lot of
nice.
flying, a lot of fly gigs,
I mean-
which is interesting, but it's cool.
Everything's very far apart here.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like very far apart. But we love it. Must be something in the water, in the beer. I think it's in the beers. You know, we don't drink
Something.
Fosters. We don't. Anyone watching this, we do not drink Fosters. It's VB.
Yeah, VBs. Yeah, that's the thing. It's what everybody seems to say down there. It's like,
That's
yeah,
it.
it's just like fuck those 80s commercials and the stuff maybe we saw on The Simpsons. It's like
It's
not-
insulting
it's
to
not.
us.
Yeah.
People go, "Oh, you guys got Fosters," and I'm like, "Don't fucking talk to me, mate. Just
Yeah.
the fuck are you?" But
Yeah.
no, they're good. That's my drop. And a New Zealand beer called Wakachangi. I'm not. This isn't a sponsor plug. This is just what I like. But
That beer sounds insane.
Wakachangi, man, look it up. It's really it's cheap, but it's crisp, man. I love it. If you like your
Cool.
beers, the front cover is the label is a dude with a spatula fighting off a demon hamster, saving a damsel in distress. It's awesome. I love it.
Wow, man, that's
Best
I mean, that's
stuff.
it's just like a typical day in New Zealand. That I guess the cover is just, you know.
That's it,
look
man.
down.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what they do over there all the time. So that's why we don't. There's water between us, because we don't
Yeah.
want that over here. So yeah, but well, dude, it's been awesome hanging out with the show with you today. Man, the new ARCHSPIRE Bleed the Future is out on October 29, and we'll have all the links down here. Brother, thank you so much for hanging.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I enjoyed myself, and I'm glad we got to talk horror. That's
Yeah.
awesome.